Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I hope you're having a wonderful day, night thing. Hope your Thursday's going well. Shit. Hope you're well, guys. I'm not too bad. I'm starting to get tired, but otherwise I'm good. Just had a fun game stream that ended in a way that I wasn't expecting it to, and now I don't think I can build for a while. That's got to change. I'm going to have to do a game stream again soon, very, very soon. But guys, we got some stuff to talk about here in the U.S., the U.S. of A., and what's going on outside of the U.S., which is also apparently inside the U.S. It's a weird dichotomy, really. The Seattle protesters took over 6 blocks of Seattle yesterday, 2 days ago now. Officer Buck, thank you. Hey, Daddy Hole Dandy. You got a real thing with the daddy hole, man. Good for you. I feel like you've probably been misappropriating yourself this last couple of hours since you heard about the daddy hole thing. Anyhow, so yeah, Seattle has. Oh, and thank you, Officer Buck. I can't remember if I said that part of it. These morons in Seattle have decided that 6 blocks of Seattle belong to them and is no longer the U.S. It's an autonomous zone, and they're going to take more land, you guys. And Donald Trump is getting sick of their shit. Donald Trump has had 2 tweets recently that that tell us he's absolutely paying attention to this situation. He's keeping abreast of it. One of which said, let's see, the latest one, at least the latest one I saw, said domestic terrorists have taken over Seattle, run by radical left Democrats, of course, law and order. The one before that, from an hour earlier, said radical left Governor Jay Inslee and the mayor of Seattle are being taunted and played at a level that our great country has never seen before. Take back your city now. If you don't do it, I will. This is not a game. These ugly anarchists must be stopped immediately. Move fast. We'll talk about that in just a second. Thank you, Cal Ken. Antifa apparently trying to establish an autonomous zone in Portland now. I'm actually surprised that it happened in Seattle before Portland, to give you my honest opinion. Portland is an Antifa stronghold and has been for a while. So that would have made more sense. Maybe those idiots just hadn't thought of it. Seattle's like, we're going to do it. And Portland's like, well, shit, so are we. Thank you, Frank, who says their citizenship should be revoked, marked as terrorists occupying, and treated as such. Not terrorists, they are traitors. I say we treat them the way we treat traitors. And Paul, thank you so much. Does that mean we can wash the hippies in hellfire? Well, yeah. Here's the thing. Going back to them declaring this an autonomous zone, that this is no, their sign outside says leaving, or their sign right outside to where you're going into them says leaving the United States, which means that if you go inside there, that you're no longer in the United States. That is taking our land. That is treasonous. What does a treason charge come with again? Well, I don't know what it comes with these days, but it used to come with the death penalty. We'd hang the little fuckers right in the public yard. I've seen this one. Prospero says just turn off utilities to the area, starve them out. Well, they're going to starve out anyway because they they let homeless people share their food, and guess what the homeless people did? They ate it all because they were hungry. They was hangry, you guys, and now they no longer have food, and they're begging for donations. They're also apparently, I don't know if this is true. It's just been reported online that they're trying to shake down businesses for money, for protection and policing. Yeah, this is what happens when you get rid of law and order. Now, you don't have to agree with the US and how we do things, and maybe you want things to change. That's fine. But you still need to change them within the legal system that exists, unless you want open revolution, in which case then you go to war and such, and then the better man stands up at the end, and they get to either keep the rules they have or the new ones get to make new rules. You're not going to see that because of Seattle. But going back to Trump, there were a lot of people upset that he suggested he was going to send in the federal military rather than just National Guard to deal with rioters. And there was some arguments from people who didn't understand that, yes, the president absolutely has that power. When it comes to this, there's no question. There's no question at all. The president can send the army in there to take care of these people if he wants to, anytime he wants to, because this is a matter of insurrection. This is a matter of them claiming that they've taken over, that belongs to them, not to the United States anymore. And guess what? We don't do that shit. That's ours. Ask the Confederate States how that shit works out. You can't just claim the land of the United States. It's ours. The last people who let folks come in and just claim land, well, now they only have tiny little parcels of it. It's a bad idea to let people just claim your land. Yeah, dumbasses who can be legally executed under the authority of the Constitution. Absolutely. Absolutely. These dumb little LARPing revolutionaries don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're like, yay, we're so cool. You're gonna get your ass shot off, boy. You're gonna get your ass shot off. And you're gonna deserve it. Because you've had it too nice in your upper class, white, middle income growing up situation, and you need some strife in your life. So you've decided to go out there and LARP Lord of the Flies in the middle of the streets of Seattle. Thank you, Michael. Confederate Dems be like, I'll duck and do it again. Isn't it amazing that it's the liberals again? Is that side? It's weird how it's always them taking land. This isn't somebody saying, this is my land, get the hell off of it. This is, we're going to take it. And you don't get to do that. Trump is well within his rights to deal with these people however he wishes to. You can't just let them do this. You honestly can't. It's bad for the nation. But my favorite part of this so far is the rise of Raz. Have you guys seen the Warlord Raz? If you guys haven't, let's put him up on the screen. Oh wait, hang on. I need to turn off the branding first because I still haven't fixed that, and it makes pictures look really weird. There we go. So this is the king of whatever they call this place, Stupid Stan. He's the one with the guns, and he's the one with the group backing him, so he gets to do what he wants to. And that's what Seattle's 6 blocks there are dealing with right now. Thank you, Snubber. They got a Wikipedia page that's practically filleting them. I'm not shocked. Petopia. Wait, they got warlords now too. Look, here's the thing. You can't have an anarchist area. That's what gets you warlords. And he's got guns backing him up. Did you guys see the video of him beating the fuck out of somebody because they were painting on a wall? Well, you painted on the wrong wall in your anarchist little state there. Isn't that some shit? Painted on the wrong wall in an anarchist state. Huh. Apparently you're realizing that rules still exist. You have no idea how good you have it in the United States. Like, but there's authority figures. There's authority figures everywhere. Some better than others. If you think Donald Trump is some kind of tyrant, you're an idiot. You want to see a real tyrant? Look at China. You want to look at an even worse tyrant? Look at the warlords in the various African countries. The people who literally will just kill you for fun. Look at Mexico, where they have a government, but it's meaningless because the drug cartels run everything. They get to make the actual rules, and it doesn't matter what the rules are. It's their rules. It's all fun and games until you LARP yourself into oblivion, which you idiots are going to do. You fucking morons are going to, for God's sake. I don't understand why this has been let go this far. As soon as this shit happened, it should have been stopped. And originally it was being stopped. They went in there to remove the concrete barriers that have been left there for actual work or for actual uses. And these people negotiated with the city to keep some of them there. They kept them there to keep the white supremacists out. I kind of have this dream that a whole bunch of people just decide to go into Stupid Stan here and take it over themselves. Be like, fuck it. Let's go make it our own. If we're just going to give it away, why not just take it? According to Cassandra Fairbanks, militants in Portland are trying to set up their own autonomous zones. Thank you so much. Sorry, the name popped off the screen before I could read it. Lion Patriot, thank you so much. Yeah, we discussed that just briefly at the very beginning. But thank you for the donation. Yeah, you're gonna see this around the country as long as it's allowed to stand. You're gonna see people trying it. Why didn't we take it when Kekistan was still a relevant meme? I don't know. I think what you need to do in this kind of situation is come down harshly on them. And I know there's people who are going to be like, Monkey, we can't be harsh. They're just kids. They're kids playing an adult's game. They're a bunch of morons is what they are. If they don't like it here, by all means, revoke their citizenships and ask other countries which one of you guys wants them, because we're about to throw them into the ocean. Monkey, you can't do that. They don't like it here. And you can't say love it or leave it. No, yes, I can. When you're trying revolution, get the fuck out. Go up to Canada where you're going to be happy. Yes, it's cold, so you can't have your days on the beach that you like so much for your Instagramming. Take your spoiled rich ass to Mexico. And I'm not talking Acapulco. I'm talking just pick any random spot in the middle of the country and drop them. Because fuck them. Monkey, how's it that 3 or 4 counties in a state determine the ruling party? Fuck, I'm okay with that being how it's run. I mean, leftists, not letting people just go, yeah, this is mine now, because that's theft. And when you're leaving the United States, that's secession, and then it's time for the United States as a whole to get into it. But if you just want to be a lefty state, I don't give a fuck. But I'm tired of this. We need to change the entire United States because a couple of kids went to college, read a bunch of Marx, and are now stupid fuckers. So we got to change everything. You hate it that much? Mexico's right across the border. They probably won't let you in these days. And if you get caught sneaking in, it's not like the United States where it's like, yeah, go run around for a few years. They're like, we're throwing you in Mexican prison. So good luck with that, you fuck nuts. Seriously, round them all up, throw them into the ocean, and wish them well. Like, Monkey, they're traitors, man. Fuck them. You are traitors to my country, and fuck you. Seriously, Seattle, Olympia, Spokane, make Washington State blue. 90% of the counties are red. Yeah, but that's enough. That's how we do it here. Your only choice at that point is to ask to separate the states, and that's not going to be allowed either. You know what you could do, D. Quaid, man? If you live there, all the red counties, just declare yourself a new state. Apparently, Washington's okay with it. Just declare yourself a new state. There you go. Done. You don't have to worry about them shitheads anymore. I mean, is what it is. I am curious what's going to happen because with Trump ramping up his rhetoric, I have a feeling he's going to be pushing something tomorrow. He's been waiting for a way to take some heat off of him. X43, thank you. Quote, books are dangerous. A man writes a book and suddenly millions of people who never read the book are dying because of those who did, or because those who did missed the joke. Terry Pratchett. Well, thoughts are dangerous when they're applied that way. Lots of people, yeah, I get the notion there, but Monkey, though the strategist in me wonders if they are doing this to be martyrs to their cause and try to have more people rise up when they get blown away. I don't want them blown away. I want them rounded up. Now they start shooting at our soldiers when they go in to round them up. Then, of course, yeah, I mean, fire back is what it is. That's how war works. That's how war works. And if you're going to come out there and basically, this is a declaration of war. You don't get to just come in and say this land is ours. That is a declaration of war. Round their asses up. Put them in a giant Scooby-Doo style net. You ever see those nets on cartoons where everybody gets just sucked up into it? Put them in one of those and swing it really hard, let go, and wherever they land outside of the United States, they can stay. Let those people deal with them. Seriously, why don't they go to Canada? You're in Seattle. It's not going to be that different. Just stay on the coast. Why you got to ruin my shit? Hearts and minds, aim for the hearts and minds. I'm okay with people having leftist thinking, and if you want to try arguing your point, by all means, argue your point. But there's something really stupid that came out of these riots, something very stupid. The notion that if you go out there and protest and you don't get your way, then it's okay to resort to violence. That's a really stupid, dangerous thinking, style of thinking, because what you're saying is the only thing that works is violence. I got to let you in on a little secret, lefties, because this is something you don't seem to understand. Democracy is mob rule. Whatever the majority thinks, that's what happens. That's what gets to be. The United States is not a true democracy when it comes to the presidential election. And we are a republic that in most cases does vote democratically. We vote by popular vote. The only exception there is how the president is selected. But if you're not happy with the things that are working out in your own state, you don't get to just decide to take it over. You don't get to just decide for revolution. You can try. Absolutely, you can try. By all means, try. You're going to get shot. You're going to get shot, and you're going to deserve it. I didn't get my way is not grounds for insurrection. It's not grounds for rebellion. Sometimes you don't win. It's the way the cookie crumbles, you dumbass. And this notion that, well, look, we've tried peaceful protesting before, which, by the way, I would love to see the actual peaceful protests. But we tried peacefully protesting, and it didn't change anything. Well, one, lots has changed. But two, if something didn't change that you wanted to change, say, I don't know, President Trump being taken out of office, That's not how it works. You don't just get to throw a fit in the street and everybody has to bend to your will, or you're going to get violent. That makes you abusive. Abusive. Speaking of rebellion, check out what I just sent you. I will read stuff later. I'm not even looking at that right now, so I appreciate it. But yeah, I'll check that out later. It was amazing to me how many reporters and members of our government repeated that stupid line of, well, they've tried protesting before and it hasn't worked. Protesting hasn't worked. Bearcock, thank you. Kill them all. Let God sort them out. I don't, like I said, I don't want them dead. I want them rounded up and shipped to Mexico. Shipped to Somalia. They like anarchy so much. Ship their asses over there. I've been saying that for years. Round up all the SJWs. Ship them to Somalia. The ones that survive can come back. They will be different people. They will be thankful for what they have. Spoiled shitbags. This definitely isn't peaceable assembly to redress grievances to the government. No, it's definitely not. You don't get to do that. That's not how a society works. Oh my God. People are DMing me and stuff. Sorry, I have to stop and silence my phone. My wife gets mad at me because I turn my ringer down and then I miss text. But unfortunately, those things come through as rings as well. Sorry about that, guys. Welcome to live chat. Remember to ship them by FedEx. The boxes are smaller. If you hated this that much, get the hell out. Get out. Don't burn shit down. Don't break things. Don't take up arms. Get out. Why are you here? A lot of these people are well off enough to get the fuck out. Tell mom and dad you're going on a vacation and just stay in Mexico. You'll be fine. I'm sure you'll blend right in. I'm so sorry. No, you don't have to be sorry that you were responding to that. Oh, and by the way, I'm sorry I was responding to Furry Kitten, not trying to mess you up. Just realized it was a group DM. Ladies and gentlemen listening, please stop putting me in group DMs. If you put me in a group DM, I'm not even gonna read it. I just drop out. That is not a way to get my attention. If you want to get my attention, I apologize that sometimes I'll miss it, but yeah, I drop right out of those because no, I do not like that. And no, it's okay, Furry Kitten. I know people do that and stuff, but and I haven't said anything before, but yeah, if you put me in a group conversation, I'm just dropping right out. They turned off the power and the water. No, I saw somebody mention, in LA, they turned off power and water to the businesses who didn't shut down during COVID, which is true. And they're like, well, what's the difference? Well, the difference is the state. And actually, in this case, it was the mayor who ordered the water and power to be shut off. So be careful looking at these things and just going, well, it was done here. Why not there? It should be done. Absolutely. Just cut it off. It would end this within days. Cut off the internet in there. You want to see these little spoiled shitbags lose their fucking minds? Block internet signal. They will come out with their hands up in 30 minutes. They won't be able to take that. Frank, thank you. Philly burned down a group that did this in the 80s or 90s. Wait, they burned a group? Thank you for the donation. They burned a group? That feels weird. EMP their phones. Yeah, I mean, just lock out their internet signal. They will come out crying like the little baby bitches that they are. They will not be able to handle that. Make it so they cannot get on the internet. And I'm not saying that, so stop them from being able to read what's going on. I'm not talking a China thing, more of a drive them out thing. That will work better than turning off power. These are people who are willing to shit in the street. I'm sure they have water, enough jugs of water in different little bottles of little gay bottles of water that they run around with all over Seattle in the different buildings around them that'll last them for a few months. But you make it so they can't get on the internet. Oh boy. Oh boy. How will they get their attention? How are people going to tell them how brave and smart they are? Yeah. Monkey, look it up. Jesus Crisp, get educated. No. I'm saying no because I will forget to do that later, and I don't care that much. Just throwing that out there. I believe you. I'm just all right. But whatever you do, you can't put up with this, and we won't for very long. We absolutely won't. If Seattle's going to be willing to put up with it, if Washington State is going to be able to put or is willing to put up with it, the president's not, and the president shouldn't be, no matter which president it is. And before I hear any motherfuckers on the left be like, "Oh my God, you can't do that kind of thing." They did this kind of thing at Ruby fucking Ridge, and that was a guy on his own goddamn property. We sent in the federal agents after him. They did that shit at Waco, and that was them on their own property, and we sent in fucking federal agents. And both of those were cases where they shouldn't even have fucking been there. This is a case where they absolutely belong there. The feds absolutely should be involved here. It shouldn't have come to that point, but that's what happens when you raise spoiled little shitbags. Stop raising spoiled little shitbags. God, man, the damage we've done to kids over the last 30 years is I don't know if it's fixable. I really don't. I think we may have to go through a communist change in order for it to change. We're going to have to go communist and then come back from it through a revolution to get it fixed for people to be like, oh, yeah, we were right the first time. Because you have a whole group of society raised as, well, shitbags with no responsibility and no idea what it's like to be an adult. So they're still out there throwing little fits, man. No, we just knock off the commies. Nobody seems willing to do that. Wasn't Waco a cult of children touchers, or am I thinking of a different one? Reportedly. Look up move, burnt down the whole block. Thank you, Frank. Again, I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to do that. I will forget to do it after the show. But burning down the block seems different than burning people. I thought you meant they rounded up the people like Salem style and set them on fire. You never come back from communism? You do. You can. There's a weird duck looking at me on the screen. Pete, thank you so much. I believe the children are our future. It pains me to say that. The children are our future. That's why we shouldn't raise them to be fucking morons. But, well, we did. We did. You know why? You ain't going to like my answer. You're not going to like my answer. Women. Women, you got to be tougher on your kids, man. You got to be tougher on your kids. You got to stop worrying about little Hunter getting his feelings hurt. It's okay for little Hunter to get his feelings hurt. If he doesn't get his feelings hurt when he's little, he's going to grow up to be an Antifa shitbag in Seattle. Just throwing that out there. Koresh was diddling 14-year-olds. I know there was the charge of that. I don't know that was ever proven. So I'll take your word for it. I've never followed the Waco thing as far as a lot of people have. What happened there at the end, though, was absolutely a tragedy. Frank, thank you. They bombed the group holding the block hostage and let it burn. All right, then. And where'd you say that was? Thank you for the donation. But yeah, I take your word for it. I believe you. But again, bombing the area is different than, like I said, I was thinking round them up, put them in a little cage and set the cage on fire. It's time to homeschool bully. We need some bullying back in our lives. And again, this happens because women are too nice. You're too goddamn nice. Stop being so nice, especially to children. Now, I'm not saying be mean to children. I'm saying sometimes children need disappointment in their life. Sometimes children need separation in their life. Sometimes children need a little strife. It's okay for them to lose. It's okay for them to figure out how to entertain themselves instead of needing a play date with mom and little Brittany from across the street. It's okay. They'll grow up. They'll be fine. It's happened that way for decades, centuries, millennia. And you guys come along and you finally get your own say and you raised a nation of pussies because you're too goddamn nice. Waco was genocide, more violent than Bill Gates style. Much like Ruby Ridge, there was no reason for what happened there. No matter what you think about Koresh and all that stuff, but it should have waited. Should have waited. There was no reason to go in there, set the place on fire. And it was set on fire from the inside. Do you remember when they told us there were no tanks used? And then it turned out there were tanks used. And the only reason we know that is because a news helicopter happened to have been on scene and caught it. I don't believe fuck all that the government tells me about Waco. Sorry. Where was that? I love you, Monk, but come on, it's okay to expand your perspective once in a while. What perspective am I needing to expand there, D-Quaid? Waco was done because government wanted to show off their toys. I don't know why it was done. Even if you believe that it needed to be done, that they needed to go in there to get Koresh, there was no reason to do it the way they did. That's the thing. There was no reason to do it. Same thing with Ruby Ridge is the one that really bothers me. They shot that woman while she was holding her child. And their evidence against Randy Weaver was a trumped up charge where they'd entrapped the man. And that's all they had. And afterwards, it all just kind of goes away because, oh, shit. Did we just fuck? They shot the dog, shot at the kid, killed the mom while she's holding a baby. For fuck's sake. Koresh had a pattern of going to town every week. Yeah, they could have grabbed Koresh whenever they wanted to. Ruby Ridge was bullshit, absolute bullshit. The FBI was out of control. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. In both of these cases, man, this was government gone insane. This was government overreach. This is the stuff where the government's killing people. That was actually the government killing people. Hey, Jack, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Not too bad. Having a little laugh at those morons in Seattle,
Oh, my God. We were just talking about that at the end of Comic Creation. Oh, my God. Those people are so fucking stupid.
Apparently, there's a group in Portland that wants to emulate them.
Oh, do it. Fuck it.
Because, of course.
Yeah, of course they do. This is Occupy Wall Street with more buildings. That's all.
The difference is, Jack, I mean, in my opinion, they have openly declared war.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? Send the tanks in. I got no problem with that.
Yeah, just right down the street. Again, Jack, I told these folks, I don't want these people to die. I want them rounded up and kicked out of the country. I want them sent to Mexico, El Salvador, fuck, even Canada. Get them the fuck out. I don't care where they go. Get the fuck out.
Oh, we should trade them for the Hong Kong people that want to leave.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do that. Send them over there. You think you're so oppressed here? Let's see how you like China. Let's see how you like communism, you little cunt. It's funny how for all their communistic bullshit, they'll never actually go to a communist country.
Of course not. They're champagne socialists. They're a bunch of trust fund kids that are playing pretend. They want to sit around and talk a mean game, but not actually commit.
Furry Kitty says it's like Occupy Wall Street, but with less rape. Mind you, it's only been a couple of hours.
Yeah, it's sadly true.
Yeah, for those of you who don't understand what Furry's talking about there's reports that one of the guys who was helping lead this had already been Me Too'd.
Yeah.
Supposedly he touched somebody a way he wasn't supposed to. I didn't read the story. I've only seen, bits and pieces on Twitter about him. Oops.
Yeah. If this is what it takes to make Washington and any of the West Coast, for that matter, a better place, again, I'm all for it because it's beautiful country up there. But these fucking weirdos ruined it.
Well, again, I kind of blame their parents.
Yeah.
And by kind of, I mean completely. Well, I just learned something important. I thought I could sneak a Hershey's Kiss into my mouth without it coming out as though I had something in my mouth, and that's not possible.
No, I heard you unwrap that thing. You tried.
I'm sorry. I didn't mind if you heard me unwrap it. It's if it sounds like it's coming out of my mouth, it's a problem. I'm eating it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm just gonna let you bask in that. No, I've been following this. I watched the Facebook feed where they were giving their little speeches. Did you watch any of that?
No, I didn't. I heard about it later, but I didn't. Not very much.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was the exact kind of garbage crap you would expect. And it was just pathetic. And they had every little weirdo come wandering up and give some speech. Half these people looked homeless more than your usual sort of hippies.
Well, maybe the ones who looked homeless were, and that's what they had to do because they ate all the food.
Oh, that's true. That's true. They were the only ones with strength.
Did you hear that story, Jack?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And fuck them. They deserved it. I mean, nobody thought to guard the food supply from the homeless.
No, it's not just that, Jack. They offered the homeless people the food, and the homeless people ate it all.
Of course they did. They're homeless.
They were like, oh, shit. I have food now. Bring up the UN appeal. What? Oh, wait, are these idiots trying to get recognized as a country?
Would you be surprised if they were? Because I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either. Defund the homeless. Fuck. But I think it's funny, Jack, and I think the reaction is going to be funny now that Trump has called out Inslee and whoever the mayor of Seattle is. If they don't react, I mean, it is well within his powers to go in there.
Oh yeah, this is totally a declaration of war to start seizing 6 blocks of the city and talk about seizing more of a major American city and declaring yourself your own country. That's an act of war. We know that because a lot of the Indian tribes tried this a long time ago, and it didn't work out real well for them either.
You can't do that in the middle of nowhere, like where I live. I couldn't go, there's a lot of empty land around here. Just go claim some empty land that, by the way, belongs to someone else. And be like, this is mine now. It's the state of Frankistan.
Yeah.
They'd be like, I'm sorry, Frank. It's not how that works.
I like the Quaid man's comment. Their country will be called Stupidtopia because they're stupid.
I've been calling it Stupid Stan.
Stupid Stan. That's a good one, too.
Stupid Stan is my official declaration for them because can they get dumber?
Wounded Ree.
Oh, my.
Good one, Jordan.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's what I fully expect to happen out of this is Trump has every right and authorization. He doesn't need any permission to send a Navy SEAL team in there and assassinate every single one of these people. Because they are technically insurgents now.
Well, all except for Roz. I mean, because if they're claiming to be their own country, we don't kill the leader of other countries. So he's declared himself the leader there.
Yeah, but we could try him for like war crimes.
Yeah, we can do that afterwards, sure.
All sorts of stuff. They could throw him in Gitmo, I'm sure. The Patriot Act gives you a lot of crazy abilities to mess with American citizens and strip their rights.
How quick do you think he would drop his own guns and walk out with his hands up if the 4 guys standing around him just suddenly dropped with holes in their head? Just a couple of snipers take him out, and him just be like left there going, "Oh shit!"
Right? Yeah. Humble said that they're charging protection racket. I forgot about that. It's like $500 per business.
Yeah.
Which is mafia tactics. Are they reporting that money on their taxes?
They don't have to pay taxes, Jack.
Oh yeah. Well, not in their little stupid brains, but in the real world you do, because it's still part of America.
He can be shot for treason. He could be shot for treason. That's true.
Yeah. This is way worse of a plan than they think. They really didn't think this out at all. They are totally unprepared for anything.
Well, the other thing I was talking about, and I got distracted when I started talking about it, but I'm glad you're here now for it. Any other group now can march their happy asses in there and take it over.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Call the police?
They didn't think that out.
You have how many people are in there? Does anybody know?
I don't know, but I don't think they actually know, because they're bringing all these homeless in to act like some sort of meat shield for them. And I think that's really going to backfire, because now they have mouths to feed. But I'd be willing to bet there's probably a few hundred people, because other people, like the local anarchists and all that, are going to swarm in there. And then you've got your looters and your parasitical types that are just going to go in to do whatever.
Yeah, I've seen that. Shayla says, Chaz is not the best acronym. I know what the autonomous zone part is. What is the CH in Chaz?
Capitol Hill.
It's communist hippies?
No, Capitol Hill. It's the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone.
Gotcha. I've heard it called that. I didn't realize that that's what that was. All right.
No, because it makes too much sense. And usually they say something stupid like the Che Guevara hospitable autonomous zone or some stupid shit like that.
Communist hippie fits better than Capitol Hill.
Oh, I completely agree.
What about the people who live there? We let them out. The people who live there, you guys come out. We'll take care of you. We'll let you move to, I don't know, LA. How about that? We'll get them out. We'll fumigate, and then we'll let them back in. Like, sorry about the holes in your house. That was unavoidable at the time. Capitol Hill Autonomous District would have been Chad. Yeah, but there's no Chads among this group, except for Raz, man. He seems like a Chad. He's like, fuck that. I'm taking over. Raz knows. Raz is smart. Like, these fucking little hippies, they're not going to stand up to anybody pushing them, or they're not going to, stand up to anybody actually pushing them around. I now have lackeys. And I just love it. I saw somebody, can't they get together as a community and push him out? They want to get shot. He has guns. They don't.
But see, this isn't real anarcho-communism. This is just pseudo. Yeah, that's what they're going to say.
Yeah.
And Matt had pointed out they think there's between 500 to 900 people. Is
that the... It smells like Teen Spirit, indeed, D-Quaid, man. Dirty hippies. Is that the protesters, or is that counting the people that live there? That would be interesting to know.
I imagine that's just the protesters. I feel bad for anyone that has to live with these idiots now because they live there.
Death by firing squad for treason. I hope they try it here in Arizona. That will be down to if it's cops or civilians spill their blood. This isn't Disney. Thank you, Gamer Valine. Again, I really don't want any of these people to die.
No, but they're going to.
Yeah.
They'll probably get dysentery. I mean, there's already people shitting in the street. So that's probably just the bums. But they're going to have disease problems. They don't have any medicine, like real medicine. I'm sure they got some like first aid stuff. But these people don't know anything about surgery or hospital stuff. How machines work. I've been up for like 28 hours, so just bear with me. So, I think they're going to run into a lot of problems. If the city shuts off their water and power to these several blocks, they're going to all probably die.
Well, I think there's probably enough bottled water around that area that they'll be okay for a while. And they have no problem shitting in the streets because they're liberal hippies. Yeah. It's not like they need to bathe.
That's a good point.
The power would really get to them because even with a good phone charger, a good backup charger, your phone's not going to last that long. So unless they got that lit mobile device that has the solar power charger on it, they're going to be off the internet really fast, and that's going to drive them insane.
Yeah.
That's my plan, Jack. If we really want to drive them out, find a way to block their internet. And again, guys, I want to be very careful here. I'm not saying block their internet the way that China wants to block people's internet. I'm all for them being able to read outside information. We can drop newspapers on them to keep them informed, but they are such arrogant, egotistical little shitbags. They will not be able to live without their Twitters and their Instagrams and their Facebooks. It will make them insane, and they'll come out quickly. Evolve Potato, thank you. So George Floyd's family asked the United Nations to step in on police reform. Why do people think the UN has any power? They can't do shit. I put the article on the hashtag. I don't know why people think they have power. Because they've been told that.
Because the UN tends to intervene in other countries, like those humanitarian missions and stuff. So they think they can do it here, and that really won't go over well if they try that shit. They don't have enough soldiers.
Nico, thank you. Who had Warlord of Seattle on your 2020 bingo card?
Right?
Yeah, I mean, what weird times, man.
Yeah, I think this is going to be just a wait and see. They're going to wait them out because this will all fall apart if they can't get stuff coming in. If they just steal off the roads and block incoming traffic into that area, it'll go Lord of the Flies real fast, and then somebody will be in charge, and then you take them out, either kidnap them or the other way, and it'll all come crumbling down. They'll be begging to be let back in. But I, for one, think they should go the old route and send in a peacekeeping force to give them some blankets so they're warm at night.
Send in COVID blankets.
You said it, not me.
Oh, man. Well,
that's the problem, though. If they end up with an outbreak of COVID in there, those people are going to die. They're not going to make it out. They're too stubborn to come out on their own.
Thank you, Professor Chaos. They want the UN to come in and disarm the police and citizens. That's how blue helmets are no longer blue. The UN can say whatever the fuck they want to us. We don't have to listen to a fucking thing they say.
Yeah, they're not in charge of us.
Nope. Now, if the rest of the world gets together and tries putting sanctions on us to make it happen, that would get interesting quick. I don't know. I'm hoping it stays humorous for a few more days before we have to actually do something.
Yeah, I think they're gonna push it too far. Is what I'm worried about. If they try this shit and they start trying to take new area, it's gonna end up bad.
Well, that's what they're already talking about it. And when you see, especially if Portland starts doing it, that's this shit spreading, and we have to stop it right then. Sorry.
Yeah, you can't have people thinking that. I mean, we already did a civil war over people being able to secede, and it's not a good look, and it'll cause a lot of problems. People are going to get sick. They're going to get killed accidentally or on purpose. It's going to end poorly.
Lexi says UN did great in Rwanda and the Balkans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great at their peacekeeping. How about this? UN, shut the fuck up and stop taking so much of my money.
Yeah, mind your own business, UN. Go back to being corrupt.
Yeah, nobody listens to I can't believe they would even do that. Get the UN to no, we don't. Nobody even pays. Ever since the UN tried pulling that bullshit of we're going to have a world court, like, no. Even then, the Democrats who've always been very up on the UN, who got mad when different presidents have been like, we're going to cut funding if other people don't start paying their share. They've always been like, no, we still got to pay our share, which, by the way, huge share, by the way, guys. But even the Democrats are like, no, sorry, you're not allowed to do that.
Right?
Michael, thank you. The time for lead is long past. Good night, Prospero.
Prosper.
Again, I'm really not for killing him. If we can find a way to do it without killing him, that's fine.
Yeah.
If we have to, I'm not going to shed a tear.
Yeah, I'd rather people didn't die, but I'll understand if they end up getting killed.
Yep.
I would prefer the non-violent outcome, but the more they do this shit, the more they take it past that point. They're crossing the Rubicon, and it cannot abide. You can't have a civilization the way they keep pushing these anarcho bullshit nonsense. So people are going to get hurt, seriously hurt, not just have their lives destroyed because their property's gone, but they'll get killed. And it'll be on both sides, and it'll be awful. It'll be tragic, and it'll be a scar on American history. These people are fucking scumbag communists, but I don't necessarily want to see them get killed.
D said, I'll pray for their souls. For their damn souls. I probably won't be doing that either. It's just that I don't want to see people die. I also don't want to see them to be able to martyr themselves because, fuck that.
On the Streamlabs, thank you, Evolved Potato. As I've said before, the UN can have an opinion when they stop protecting and employing child rapists and slavers. Damn globalist commies. Preach.
Thank you, Michael. To clarify, people burning down police precincts should have been treated with bullets. Oh, certainly. But yeah.
Yeah, I think this is going to end very poorly, unfortunately.
Okay, let's see. What else do we have going on in the world today, Jack? This has just been the funniest thing I've seen, and it has the chance for being incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
I certainly don't want anybody who's stuck in that place who doesn't want to be there hurt. Let them leave, and then we'll throw down, guys.
Well, that's another concerning thing. What if they decide those are hostages now? Because, it could go Sibian Liberation Army real fast.
Oh, yeah. Well, they can claim, hey, these are our people. You can't just leave like that. They could go East Germany real quick.
Yeah.
You try to leave and we'll shoot you. They need visas to leave now.
Well, they were talking about making their own money, so that wouldn't surprise me.
Lexi, we talked about the Merriam-Webster racism definition change yesterday. Oh, excuse me. Jack, I actually got my sleep. I slept way too long, though, so I woke up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I went to bed at 3. That's when I was finally able to get to sleep. And, I slept way too long, but I'm starting to get tired again. So, guys, we may have another short show tonight. Jack hasn't had sleep. I'm getting sleepy. But hang in there. I'll let you know. What else was going on in the world that made me laugh today, Jack? There was something else. No, that's more of these idiots. Oh, I can't remember. And I didn't retweet it, so now I have to find it a different way. Oh, Kamala was talking again. Kamala said, right now there's no national ban on chokeholds or no-knock warrants in drug cases. The Justice and Policing Act would change that. It's not so much that I have a problem with changing that, with changing the policies of chokeholds, and it's certainly no-knock warrants. Those need to go away. You're going to get people killed again.
She doesn't care.
But Kamala Harris being the one to say this, she's trying very hard to come off as this civil rights leader, which she's never been.
But that's what she wants to be.
I don't think she wants to be. I think she's looking at being Joe's VP. I think she's looking at either being Joe's VP or looking ahead to 2024. because she's always been law and order and not had a problem with most police methods most of her career.
Well, when it suits her.
Yeah. But I told her, I mean, we know who you are, Kamala. We're not going to forget. Somebody was like, wait, I want to read this. It says, so speak up. Cryptic is cowardly. I'm listening because I want to be an informed voter. Again, speak facts. I'm like, I was talking to her. If you want to be an informed voter, why are you waiting for people on Twitter to tell you what happened? Now, if they'd asked simply, you know, what are the problems with Kamala instead of calling me a coward because they didn't like what I said to her, I probably would have answered them. But when your excuse is that you want to be an informed voter, that's why you need people on Twitter to tell you things, you're just lazy.
Well, yeah, but that's how most people get their media now, is being lazy and just, oh, okay, I'll believe that then.
Cannibalistic Wizard says, Monk, she is a civil rights leader. She leads violating civil rights. She's certainly not opposed to violating them.
Yeah, that's true.
Had exculpatory evidence for a man on death row and a judge had to make her give it up.
That is a hate fact.
Oh, anyhow. So glad I'm basically never on Twitter now. I love Twitter. I do. And there's times that something goes on and I'll ask what happened. And if I don't get a reply, yeah, I'll go look it up. But if you're talking about Kamala Harris's record that's been out there for a while and you don't know it and you're going to call me names because I made a quip at her, go fuck yourself. How dare you? You know, Jack, if you don't come at me as a dickbag, I can have really great conversations with you about anything. You come at me as a dickbag and I'm going to rub my balls on your face.
Well, you know, that's what happens sometimes. It's not that hard to not be an asshole.
It's really not. And it's okay to have conversations and stuff. It really is. I actually had a conversation with somebody who disagrees with the notion that Democrats are still the racist, who actually believes in that nonsense of the flipping of the parties where it comes to race, specifically in the South. In their worldview, Herbert Humphrey changed it all. I'm like, no, he didn't. The sides didn't really switch until 1980. And that's where you see a change through the South in the states down there. Hashtag not all, because certain states have gone back and forth the whole time. But, you know, the large parts of the South, they didn't change until 80, which had more to do with, well, commie pinkos after we just lived through Carter than it had to do with any racist bullshit.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They use race as a crutch. They use race as a tool. They use race as a tool. Black folks are just a way to get elected. And a lot of black folks are waking up to it going, I'm not doing that for you anymore. Even Sean King, the whitest black man on the planet. Sorry, I almost did that without laughing. Even he's like, no, maybe the Democrats are bad, so we need to vote socialist outright. Sorry, nectar of the gods, you guys. You'll have to put up with it because I'm too lazy to hit pause at this point. Or
Coca-Cola?
Diet Pepsi, how dare you?
Diet Pepsi, no. Nope.
Oh, okay.
Gross.
There we go. Carter was a disaster. He really was. In so many ways. Plus, he gave away the canal.
Panama?
Yeah. It belongs to the Panamanian people. Please make them pay for it. Have them give us some tacos or something. We didn't even get tacos for it. Thanks for going with me on that.
I don't know how to respond to that without getting us in trouble.
I don't think there's a way to do that. Pepsi is liquid communism. I can read what you're writing. You know that, right?
You don't read chat. What are you talking about?
Ask Nuts. There are times I read chat. She accused me of not reading chat the other day as I was reading chat. I'm like, haha. Guys, this is a good time to remind you we're brought to you by you. Hit the like button. Please share if you're not too embarrassed by us. And throw money at Jack.
Yeah.
Because,
I like money. Like, share, and subscribe.
Panamanian tacos. I don't know what Panamanians eat. I just went south of the border and went tacos. I just, everybody south of America or of the United States of America eats tacos. I'm convinced of it.
You're probably not wrong. And tacos are delicious.
They really are. There's nothing wrong with tacos.
Yep.
And if we could have got some tacos for it, it might have been an almost fair trade.
Almost.
I mean, a lot of people died making that.
Yeah.
Probably didn't even get a taco that day.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're just being dead, but man, now I want tacos.
No, me too. I went to see if we had sour cream the other day. You know what I was getting sour cream for, Jack?
Tacos?
Pizza rolls.
Oh, yeah, that's not a bad combination.
No, it's really good. He only reads it when you say you don't expect him to see, or when you say what you don't expect him to see. That's right. I'm like a parent. I'm paying attention sometimes. Be on your best behavior all the time.
I'm like a parent. I pay attention sometimes.
The best parents pay attention sometimes. What you do is you scare your child into thinking you could be listening at any moment. And by scare your child, I'm not meaning like
you jump out and go, boo!
Ah! No, you don't want them like afraid of you. You want them to be worried about consequences is what I mean.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then you don't, it is amazing how people who are afraid they'll get caught will act. They'll stop doing it. Or they'll get better at doing it so they don't get caught. And tacos.
Tacos.
No, but recently we've apparently bought 2 of the big things of sour cream without realizing we'd done it. And I was like, Lady Monkey, we need to have tacos soon because we have way too much sour cream in this house. It lasts for quite a while, but not that long. And if you've never had pizza rolls with sour cream, absolutely do so. It is wonderful. It
is. That's the only way to eat those taquitos, too.
Oh, those are so dry without it. Absolutely. So you actually ignored them and Lady Monkey is who caught them? No, I caught them more than she did because I have really good hearing. And it's amazing how much sound children make when they're trying not to make sound. Many ways to eat them. To eat what?
Pizza rolls, I assume.
2 words, Monkey. Potato salad. What? Sour cream and potato salad. What are you doing? No.
Well, it does have potatoes in it, so.
Doritos with sour cream is good too. Yeah, not bad. Not my favorite. I mean, you know what's not good that should be is Doritos with any kind of liquid cheese. It's just too much. It's too much. Fear of parents works better. I'm 41 and still afraid of parents. And then why'd you say I'm wrong? I said to be, you don't want to be afraid of them like beating you to death, though. That's what I mean. I don't want people to, oh, Jack, we read a horrible story on Lords of the Night about parents. This woman told her 5-year-old daughter that she never wanted kids, including her.
Wow.
Yeah. And she went to Reddit because her husband was really pissed off. And she doesn't understand because she never really wanted kids and her husband made her do it.
That's not how babies are made.
No, it's not.
She's a shit person too.
She is a shit person. I hope bad things happen to her and that it doesn't affect her kids. She told a 5-year-old that, man.
She's probably a psycho or something.
And then she just didn't understand why people were mad.
She was a mother of 4?
Yeah.
Wow.
And she's 25 years old or 24 years old. I forget which. She's got kids ranging from 1 to 5. Like, so you didn't want kids and you've been popping them out basically yearly? I feel like you're doing not wanting kids wrong.
Right?
Yeah. She's going to end up somewhere with a drinking problem.
Yeah. That's sad. Who does that to a kid?
Number one says, I'd be saving that for divorce court. Oh, yeah, me too. And we'd be going pretty quick.
Yeah.
She played that long game on the retroactive consent pull. Yeah, she did. And she pulled it on the kid. I was hoping you'd be an abortion. You know, ladies, this is the modern day. You don't have to have kids. He forced me into it. Did he rape you? Well, no. Then he didn't force you into it. Stop it. He wanted you to do it, so you agreed. That's still you doing it. You made a choice. Don't be a bitch. I know someone who's had 3 kids and hates them. She just enjoys being doted on while being pregnant. I can see that too. I know people who use them as it's not quite Munchausen's by proxy, but almost the same. They don't actually get the kid sick or anything. They just like to talk about how sick the kid is all the time. And then you see the kid and like, that kid's fine.
Yeah, they're just doing it for the attention.
Yeah. So at least they're not harming the child, but that's it's still just about them.
Yeah.
That's like wanting the wedding, not the marriage, right?
Yeah. Well, the one that always pissed me off was getting pregnant to save the relationship.
Oh, God.
Like, that's the worst idea you could have. Why are you putting a kid in the middle of your failing relationship?
Yeah, it makes more sense to get married because you're pregnant than it does to get pregnant because your marriage is failing.
Yeah. It's just going to cause more stress and anxiety. You're not going to fix anything.
Yeah, because at least in the first thing, getting married because you're pregnant could still work out.
Yeah.
You know, if you got a kid because you're, let's throw some horrific stress on top of this relationship neither one of us wants.
Yeah. I mean, there's arranged marriages that work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can learn to tolerate other people, but you can't save a failing relationship. That's just dumb. Why are you going to make both of you miserable and ruin the kid's life at the same time?
I don't understand trying to save a failing relationship.
If it's not working, it's not working. It's probably not going to work. My uncle had this great analogy after he divorced his wife the second time. Same woman. He married her, divorced her, then married her again years later. He said, getting married like that, a relationship is sort of like milk. If you take it out, you smell it, it's bad. You don't put it back in the fridge because it's not going to be good again tomorrow. Sometimes you just have to walk away.
Yeah. Pour that shit down the sink and go get some juice.
Yeah.
I mean, you can save one, but don't use a child to do it. You can save one, but I mean,
but is it a good idea?
How often does that really work? I know lots of people that try it, and I can't think of any who stayed together long term.
No.
Yeah, that's all you that's what you want to add is well, who are you fucking when we were away? You know?
Yeah. That's just devolves into suspicion and resentment.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it can work. Hey, but yeah, and the person said don't add kids. Absolutely don't add kids. I've just never understood it. I mean, if it's not working, then move on. Is it just the attachment to the person or the idea of the person?
Probably. It's people that are invested in it. It's like gambling. You don't want to cut your losses. You know, you don't want to just admit that it's not working. You already are too heavily invested.
Frank, thank you. I think internet destroyed marriage. No fault divorce destroyed marriage. I knew a girl back in high school, Jack. She and I were both 16. She had been with her boyfriend for 4 years at this time. I want to remind you, we were 16. Her and her boyfriend were both fucking everyone else they could get their genitals on. And she didn't want to break up with him because they had 4 years invested.
Yeah.
I was like, you're 16. Sure, you spent a quarter of your life with him, but we're 16. And you obviously neither one want to be faithful and just stick with each other because you're 16.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to move on. I later learned after we moved away, because she was actually a friend of a friend, that she did eventually marry him. He beat the shit out of her. They had a couple of kids together, and she's since, spread it around a little bit.
Jesus.
She became a whore.
Oh, women get kind of fucked up when they're in those relationships.
I've been married for 8 years. We're coming up on 27 this year.
Wow.
Yeah, long time. Geez, a quarter of your life when you're 16, to be young again. I know, right? 4 years is nothing. I can do 4 years of anything standing on my head. I've done 4 years of this fucking injury, Jack.
Damn.
It ain't shit. I'm old and hardened now, Jack. And not hardened like I was when I was 16, let me tell you. Whole different hardening. My parents hit 44 years of marriage Friday. Congrats to them.
Damn, that's awesome.
My ex-wife became a whore and I didn't beat her. There's a missed opportunity. I meant he could have pimped her out, not beat her.
Oh, yeah.
What? I would never suggest beating women.
Well, are horse people? I don't remember.
It depends on who you ask. So we talked about J.K. Rowling the other day, and I'm bringing this up because we talked about it on Lords of the Night, and it was something I was going to let go, but I'd forgotten one part of what she wrote today. She wrote a long letter today, Jack, about why she feels the way she does about trans rights and stuff, and how she's come on her journey, Jack, because she didn't really know about the trans thing, so she's done a lot of reading and stuff. Johnny Hellcat, thank you. Was catching up on Lords of the Night, and the first word that popped into my mind, strategory?
Strategory.
What is that?
Strategery.
Strategery. What's that?
It's Bushism. Instead of saying strategy, he said strategery.
Oh, okay. See, that's why I don't understand it, because I speak English.
Real quick, thank you, James Kelly. We know how confusing and stressful finding the right birth control can be. Here at Knoxville Labs, we have partnered with Ranting Monkey to bring you slapstick comedy and a safe alternative to the morning after pill. We present to you Stairs.
Oof.
Thanks, James. I shouldn't laugh at that.
It's, it happens. She wrote this long letter about her journey, and she explains why she feels the way she does about trans. And she didn't please she's pleased one or two people, but most people still have their opinions of what she said the other day. Just as a reminder, the other day, somebody had tweeted out that we need to rethink equality when we get done with COVID for women or for people who have, people who menstruate? That's what it said. People who menstruate. Thank you, Mighty Balzac. Antifa is asshole. Indeed, they are. And she got a lot of stuff because she suggested that people who menstruate are women. Because they are. But in her thing, she's talking about all the different reasons she feels the way she does. And one of the reasons she feels the way she does is that porn was it specifically porn? I want to say it was. Pornography online helps devalue women. That women have never been more devalued than they are right now because of the transgender, the transgender thing, and porn online. I'm like, it's a weird grouping together.
I think she just hates porn.
I think she does too, and there's too many people like that.
Usually ugly people.
If you want to talk about, people who are forced into it, that's different than people who willingly get naked and fuck.
Yeah, but that's an extreme minority of it.
Yeah, most of them have fun with it.
Yeah, and can we be honest? Seriously, like take a look at a lot of the people that are anti-porn. They're like a 3 or a 4.
Oh yeah, even when Rowling wasn't even cute when she was younger.
No, she's at best an average-looking woman at best.
I feel like she's probably like Peg Bundy, and her man had to look at porn to get it up.
Yeah, and maybe she's just a sack of wheat too, and her husband or boyfriend or whatever wants to watch a little bit of something not boring before he has to go do his duty and take one for the team. Some of these people are just bitter and angry that there's somebody better at what they're not good at.
She also told us in here, and I hated that she did this. I really do. I'm so sick of seeing it. It has become the new I'm an alcoholic. She told us, even though she's never spoke of it before, Jack, that she's a victim of male violence and sexual assault.
Oh God, what, did somebody look at her funny once?
Her ex-husband used to beat her and apparently rape her.
If that's true, then we're going to need a little bit of evidence. I'm sorry, but there's too many of these people with fake victim stories.
If it's true, it still doesn't belong in her explanation for why she said women have periods.
And no, but it adds to her victim narrative that she's really just a victim of the patriarchy or some shit. They got to build up their progressive stack.
Needing to drop that in here is nonsense. It's like I said, it's the new I have a drinking problem.
Yeah,
I have a drug problem. No matter what I said, this is my get out of trouble for free card.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if her ex-husband did beat her. And okay, let me stop. Let me back that up a minute. I hope he didn't, and if he did, I'm glad she got away from it. But it has nothing to do with the subject at hand. Frank, thank you. I love the books. I find her attractive. She's politically dumb. I don't find her attractive, and I find a lot of unconventional women attractive. So we just have different tastes, Frank.
X43 just made a really, really good point. He said she better hope her ex is dead, otherwise he's about to get paid because the Brits have some serious slander and libel laws.
Perhaps, maybe this is something that is documented that she's already been through. Maybe she's already paid him for saying it, because several people in chat are saying that they know that she's been beaten before. If you guys have the video, I want to see it, because otherwise you're taking her word for it, or unless he's admitted to it.
Well, like I said, it's awful if it happened, but
doesn't belong here.
No, it's not relevant to the situation at hand. And this is just another press release apology bullshit that some publicist came up with.
Gamer Valine, thank you. That's not news. JKR had a rough past. I know she was like homeless at one point. I never heard about her getting beaten and raped. So, Nuts says that's assuming she's lying. I'm not assuming she's lying.
No, I'm suspicious of everything.
I do not like that as a card for why you're involved in bad behavior. And I don't find her behavior bad, but this was a please don't hate me. Here's why you shouldn't hate me letter. And it does not belong there at all.
And Tazzy, Harry Potter and the Black Eye is not a real book.
It so should be.
That's awful. Well, I'm a bad person for laughing at that.
It would be like me trying to get out of every time I offended somebody watching the show by going, hey, look, I hold this view, and I understand it's upsetting to you, but my mom died when I was 14. Don't you care about that? It's irrelevant to whatever I was talking about. unless it's relevant in which one case it was. That wasn't to you. Sorry. No, it's okay, Nuts. It's okay. If there's video, dub the Three Stooges vocals into it. No, I don't want her to have been beat. That's horrible. I'm tired of the excuse. Every time some woman decides to open her mouth now, that's got to be part of it.
Yeah.
I said something stupid, but I was sexually assaulted before. Okay. Did you say it while you were being sexually assaulted? No? Then it's irrelevant. Yeah. I don't like excuses, Jack. If it's relevant, by all means, fine. But she's talking about why she thinks women have periods.
Well, if it's relevant, it's not an excuse. It's a reason. That's different. She's just throwing things out there to try and cover for doing something the woke brigade didn't like.
Oh, wow. I, too, have a cripple pass and a woman pass and sexual assault pass. You must all bow to me and nothing I say is wrong. There you go, Lexi. You get to win them all. Get to win them all because you're a woman and you have tragedy and things you need to overcome. I'm done, but my husband murdered me as a child. Do you remember? It only works for a few people, but sexual addiction, that was the Bill Clinton excuse.
Yeah.
Sexual addict. You mean man?
Well, that was a big excuse for a little while for cheating on your spouse or whatever.
It was. We have excuses for everything instead of, hey, that was shitty behavior. I'm sorry. Or in the case of Rowling here, I didn't say anything wrong. Because she did go on, Jack, and explain things like she's worried about, especially in other countries where this stuff is catching on, about how this is going to affect women when it comes to medicine. Specifically, if you're going to say that somebody's a woman just because they feel like they're a woman, I mean, medically, there's issues there.
Well, yeah, obviously.
I can't have prostate cancer. I'm a woman. Well, I'm sorry, Sheila. We'll just pretend it's not there. Her other one that she was really worried about, and this is, I think it's in Scotland right now. There's a bill being advanced over there where as long as a man says he's a woman, he can go into women's changing rooms and bathrooms.
What happened to Scotland? They used to be beautiful.
They're very, very liberal right now, man.
They used to be like badass Viking type warriors, and, fighting off the Romans and shit. Now they're like, oh, you could go in the changing room and diddle people.
Viking says she should sit in her castle and count her money. She doesn't need to explain herself. She doesn't need to explain herself. I don't mind her trying to explain herself. I just mind her bullshit excuse. That takes up like 2 long paragraphs of her thing, and it's irrelevant to what the topic is. Now, she does talk about male abuse against trans people, because we're the only ones who abuse trans people.
What if those men identify as women?
Well, that changes things. Then it's not abuse. I'm not sure how that works, to be honest with you. But she brought up things like prison. Sometimes people who end up in prison, they have been violently assaulted in their past. And she thinks it's a bad idea to put men in women's prisons where they could be violently assaulted or assaulting. Let's see, what else do we have?
Well, you remember that story a little while back where they locked up those 3 guys that identified as women and they went around raping everybody.
Oh, yeah, there's been a couple of those cases. There was a guy, they finally moved back to a male prison after he had done it to like 6 women.
Jeez.
Yeah. If I was him, I'd just be like, I'm that was lesbian rape. A little bit of common sense is all I'm asking for, Jack.
Oh, good luck with that one. Thank you, Evolved Potato, on the Streamlabs. I still don't know why her books were so celebrated. They had good world building, but mediocre characters. The boys were written like girls, and it had Mary and Gary Sues. She's not a good writer, in my opinion, not a good person.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I can see why you say that. I think the books were fine. It's just that they've been held up on such a pedestal that they can't live up to the hype.
I've been arguing for more than a decade now that Ron and Harry are women. They're girls. She did not study boys at all while she was preparing for this or whatever, because those are two girl characters.
Yeah.
They fight and become friends again and fight and become friends again. That does not happen in the male world. And they never have a fist fight over it. I'm like, really? That's how you do it. You have a fist fight, and then if you're going to be friends again, you become friends again. If not, you just avoid each other. They were written as female characters, which again, I don't necessarily have a problem with if she'd have just named them as female characters. Thank you, Frank. I've always appreciated the way she describes things. I don't. She's a little wordy for me in that respect. But I like the books. I like the stories.
I just would like people to read other books.
Mm-hmm. I wish that would have led to a lifelong love of reading rather than I don't have to read anymore until I'm old enough for 50 Shades of Grey. Good morning, Vanilla Bear. How you doing, sweetheart? The writing in it was fine. I actually prefer the first few books more than the last ones, even though I loved 7 and 4 is pretty decent. Especially the first 3 books are written in a style that I really like. It's not overly descriptive. She wasn't trying to prove that she's an author in the first 3. She was just writing stories.
Yeah.
And and you actually see it as the progression goes of the books. The first one is a decent range for the kids it was targeted for. By the time you get to 4, I mean, this is a long fucking book. And they just get bigger from there. And then you get to 7, it's a fucking encyclopedia. Frank, thank you. I tried reading Lord of the Rings, but the descriptions are tedious. Lord of the Rings sucks.
Try reading the Silmarillion. That is like reading the Bible before it's translated.
Wow.
You think Lord of the Rings is bad? Read that one. That is so much worse. But yeah, Lord of the Rings, I'm not a big fan. It's an older style of writing that I don't care for.
There was this time where, and you still have authors who do it to prove how great they are as authors. You have to describe everything, and they're just verbose for the sake of verboseness. I just made up a word there.
Yeah, you did, but that's okay. I'm sure Gun Threat would approve. Yeah, it's an old style of writing fantasy work, especially in fiction. As opposed to like scientific descriptions or stuff like that. You don't see Charles Dickens used to kind of write like that, but you don't see it much anymore. It's very outdated style, and they did it to fill space effectively.
Ex-Bubba Hotep, thank you. What, you don't want to know the history of each branch in detail? No, I don't. I want to hear. My favorite thing to read are plays, because you get a very limited description of what's going on, of the setting, and then you just get to read the story through the dialogue.
Yeah,
and that's not to be confused with screenplays or teleplays, where usually for timing constraints they can end up being a little too, what's the word I'm looking for here, idiotic, where things just get boiled down a little too much. But show don't tell is and again, I don't need to know what the pattern on the chair is unless it's important to the story. Jack, I did see something really cool though. I was playing Fallout 4 the other day, and you're in this in this basement doing a quest, and there's a dead guy there, and he's got a bottle of Amontillado. And if you turn around, there's a skeleton half walled in. I was like, oh my God, it's my favorite Poe story. The quest itself had nothing to do with that, but it was still cool. Like, that is a good thing in there for readers. Frank, thank you. No 3 paragraphs describing the shade of blue? No, thank you. I'm okay. It's also one of the reasons I'm kind of a fan of Patterson, or the people who write the books that Patterson gets credit for. Patterson's become a lazy writer, Jack.
Oh, no shit.
He actually has had, like, if you'd like to write a book with me, which means if you'd like to write the book and me to stamp my name on it, give me a call and we'll split the profits 70-30. Yeah, 70 for me.
That dude's making money hand over fist.
Yeah, he is. And they never get the people who write with him don't get the fame that he has. He earned his fame, don't get me wrong, but he's gotten lazy as fuck about it. Some of the mannequin skeleton jokes in Fallout 4 are excellent. Yeah, there's a few of them I've caught on to. Who's Patterson? James Patterson. I like the that female detective series that he's got. The ones that have the numbers in them.
Oh, yeah.
I forget the names of them, but I've read like the first. I think I stopped after. Which one did? I can't say that for anybody who's going to read them. I don't want to ruin stories for people. You guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know. Tolkien was a war vet and wrote a hate letter to Hitler, but he sucks, right, Monkey? What? And I'm going to say it, Tolkien, just to piss you off because you apparently like him so much. The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit are horribly written.
The Hobbit's better than the Lord of the Rings books.
That's because it's one book. You don't have to slog through all of them.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying the books are bad. I just don't care for them. That's just my opinion.
I think they're written in an overly verbose manner that bored the absolute shit out of me.
Yeah, I don't like the style they're in.
Now, you put them on the screen. I enjoyed the movies.
Yeah.
Take out all that additional crap. I don't have to read that. I can just look at it. Much better. Much better. You have no taste in literature. I avoid anything labeled literature because it's usually the kind of stuff stuck up people read. That's not nice. I'm sorry. I don't like literature. I never liked much of what we were told we had to read in school because most of it was verbose crap.
The problem is they give you if you read House of the Seven Gables, you'll probably never want to read a book again because it's boring.
Monkey, why do people always take your comments to the very extreme? Because they're very touchy. People don't like it when you tip their sacred cows. Did you see the statue that fell on the dude's head? Nuts. No, I haven't. I heard about it, but I haven't seen it. All of the statues I've seen them pull down, nobody's gotten hit by. If you have that, by all means, link it to me.
I tweeted it out earlier.
I haven't been on Twitter very much today.
Oh, you didn't miss anything.
It was my son's birthday, so I got up, I looked a little bit, went up and hung out with him for a little while, came back down and played a video game for about half an hour before it was time for the show. So you pissed off the book nerds tonight. Well done, I say. I wouldn't even call those the book nerds, man. The book nerds read even worse stuff like Hemingway.
Hemingway sucks.
He's an American icon, you know?
Yeah, he's a fucking drunk who couldn't stop himself from typing nonsensical babble.
But, I mean, now that he's dead, he's okay, right?
No.
He stopped writing.
Well, there's that, but overrated.
Monkey's favorite book is The Hungry Caterpillar. He needs pictures. By the way, The Hungry Caterpillar you can actually watch on Netflix if you'd like, or at least it was on there last time I looked. The Hungry Caterpillar is one of Little Butt's favorite books, so I'm not ashamed of reading it and liking it. Michael, thank you. Lord of the Rings isn't that great. I love the movies. I thought the movies were well done, and it's sad that they still ended up skipping parts, because those are some really long movies that still drug on in certain places. But I like the movies.
Yeah, the movies were good. Thank you, X Boba Hotep. Since we were talking about fantasy books, have you read What Do You Think of the Dark Elf trilogy about Dritz from the Forgotten Realms? I liked them when I read them in high school. I haven't read them since then, but I did like those. I probably won't like them now. I don't read a lot of fiction anymore, but I did like them when I read them the first time. A better series was the Iron Tower trilogy.
The Very Hungry Caterpillar is one of the best-selling books of all times. I didn't know that, but you can watch that. It's just somebody, and I think it's the author, reading it as they flip through the pictures that are in the book. And then he reads others of his stories, and we didn't care about the rest of them. So after we watched that one, we moved on. I'm all about whatever Little Butt wanted to watch at that time. So, oh God, y'all are forgetting Dr. Seuss books. I love Dr. Seuss books. Although a lot of the Dr. Seuss books are not actually written by Dr. Seuss. You know how disappointed I was when I realized Hand, Hand, Finger, Thumb wasn't written by Dr. Seuss.
Oh, what?
It's not written by Dr. Seuss. Doesn't have his name on there. It's just part of the Seuss catalog. Somebody else wrote that. There's several of those in that series. Duck Dog, thank you. Take a sci-fi story, swap the plasma sword for a wand. It's a $1 billion idea. Again, Ron was not a man. Harry was not a man. Those were chicks. You realize what you could have done for girl empowerment, J.K. Rowling, if you would have just named those Ronette and Harriet? They would have, women would have been empowered for generations. Instead, they got stuck with the Hunger Games, which, by the way, is one of the worst heroines of all time.
She doesn't really affect the change per se. She just sort of goes along with everything.
Gamer says, I will burn Animal Farm. I hated that book. My teacher loved that book. I liked Animal Farm.
Yeah, I did too.
It's one of the few books they made us read that I liked. Humble Clay says, good book, horrible movie. I'm not sure which thing we've talked about recently, but that you're mentioning there. I remember the arguments about whether or not she was a good female character, and the people are like, she's a great. I'm like, did you pay attention? Katniss, is that her name? Katniss,
yeah. Katniss Everdeen.
She did the only thing she did that was heroic was stand up in her sister's place. Everything after that was pacified pussy garbage.
Thank you, Evolved Potato. Percy Jackson is a much better series than Harry Potter. It has actual people as characters. Also, to be fair, you do need pictures, Monk. You and words aren't good friends.
I can't take anybody named Percy seriously. That's just a, testosterone thing.
I never read them. I read the first one because one of my friend's kids wanted to read it, but I don't remember it, so it must not have been very good to me. But I'm also like vastly out of the target demographic for those.
I didn't start reading Harry Potter because it was the thing to read. I started reading it because my daughter read it, and I wanted to know what it was about because this was something she was very excited to go read. And
yeah,
like this is getting into the time where my daughter's always been an advanced reader. They had to bring in books from the high school when she's in junior high, and from the junior high when she was in elementary school. So she's always been an advanced reader, and she starts reading these books. And I need to check this out. And I ended up liking them, so it became a thing we did together. The Hunger Games one, she was a little bit older, and she had read it, and she goes, "You'll like this book." I actually liked the book because of the way it was written. She's still a horrible character, but young adult has taken to mean we're just going to tell you the story and get it the fuck over with. which I really like in reading.
Hmm.
As for me needing pictures, do you really think that would help? Do you think if you put pictures in what you're sending me that I was going to read it any better? I've had trouble reading the stickers, Jack. I'm just throwing that out there. Love the writing style of Hitchhiker's Guide. I wish I knew more books like it. There's Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency.
That's the same author, though.
Yeah, same author. Well, I don't know if he knew it was from them. Yeah, it's one of the few books I read on my own as a child because I didn't like reading, Jack. Ender's Game is good. The sequel's not so much. Haven't seen or read them. Haven't seen Ender's Game. I've heard if you like nostalgia, it's a decent movie. Did you find the vid, or was I supposed to? If Jack tweeted it out, I can go look for it after the stream.
I threw the link in the chat.
Oh, cool. All right. Have you seen the Dirk Gently series on Netflix?
Dirk Gently.
Is it Gently?
Yeah.
I've never seen a series, so I've always pronounced it with a soft G.
The TV show is awesome. It was really good. Elijah Wood's in it. Really ties it together.
My biggest problem with Lord of the Rings, I had two problems with Lord of the Rings.
They didn't kiss.
Elijah and Sam. What's Rudy's real name? Sean Austin.
Sean Austin, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like either of them.
Well, they never. It was very unfulfilling because they never kissed at the end after like 5 minutes of longing stares.
Yeah, when he took off the ring, he should have inserted that finger into Sam's butt. Aston, not Austin. No, you. Yeah, that's how much I care about him. I really hate that guy. I want to punch him. And you know that feeling, Jack? You just see somebody like, oh, I want to punch them. And he's never done anything to me other than be a ridiculously bad actor. Why? Because he's a horrible actor. I don't like him. I hope he steps on a Lego, it shoots up his butt, and then Fredo's finger can never fit up there.
See, I disagree. I think he's an okay actor. He was good in Toy Soldiers.
He was 10.
He was like 15. He was good in the Goonies.
No, I didn't like him in the Goonies.
You hate everything.
I don't. That's one dude. I like the rest of the Goonies cast. Okay, except for the older brother. He was kind of a dick.
Josh Brolin? Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh.
No, I don't hate Josh Brolin.
Oh.
I just didn't like the character.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Suit Frosted said.
No. Put it in my butt, Mr. Frodo. God, yeah, that was such a gay couple. They should have. Are they like that in the book?
No, it was just I assumed they were trying to make out like they were friends, like really best friends, but it came off really gay.
I didn't remember that relationship being that way. And granted, I did not read all of any of the books because every time I tried, it's like, no, that's still shit. But I read enough that, I mean, I'd read the relation and like, I don't remember them being ridiculously homosexual. And I get what you're saying. You know, it's supposed to be this longing moment or this impactful moment rather than a longing moment.
Yeah.
But it's two really gay actors. You can't do that. That scene of Brokeback Mountain I heard and never watched was less gay than those two looking each other in Lord of the Rings. Gamer of Lean, thank you. Yes, on Punch, I too like Rob Riggle in Step Brothers. Who's Rob Riggle?
It's somebody from the movie Step Brothers, I assume. I don't know. I don't think I've seen that movie.
Bastard says they are that gay in the book. Maybe I was too young to notice the ass pounding in the book. Well, because
metaphor.
The other two, Mary and what's his nuts, they don't come off as gay.
No, but they're not.
No.
They're also peripheral characters. It might have been some kind of messaging they put in the movie, because everything has to have some kind of fucking message now.
Pippin, thank you. Now, if I heard that Mary and Pippin got really drunk and woke up naked and one of their butts hurt, okay. But they wouldn't talk about it again because they're not gay.
James is right. The cartoon version wasn't nearly as gay.
I didn't like the cartoon version. I couldn't watch it. It was one of those that the animation style killed it for me.
Yeah, I wasn't particularly a big fan of that either, but it's better than reading the book.
Aren't Mary and Pippin related? Kissing cousins? What's wrong with that? You ain't never banged one of your cousins before?
No, I don't live in the deep south.
I don't know any of my actual cousins. Isn't that weird? So, Leonard Nimoy's Ballad of Bilbo Baggins is iconic.
It's true.
I don't know if I've heard it.
I'll throw a link in for you. It's catchy as hell.
I guess Monkey nailed a cousin or two. Like I said, I don't even know my cousins. I mean, the people that I talk about as my cousins, they're not they're not blood related. So if I did bang one, it wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, it's on my dad's side.
To say to that.
It's okay to bang your cousins if you're not actually related to them. There's not even laws against it. True story. Huh. All four are distantly related. I think Frodo is Mary's cousin. I think Frodo is Sam's wife. All the hobbits are related. It's fucked up and weird. So there you go. They're all inbreeders.
Yeah, that's why they're so small with giant hairy feet.
Nimoy's song is pretty good. It was tacky, but also good. Not many songs can have that said about them. Oh, man. Most one-hit wonders. Can't you say that about them?
Yeah, I threw it in the chat and our side chat, so you can watch it later.
No, Sam married Rose Cotton, you idiot. After he got the gayness out, and then he had to go back and pretend. She's his beard, because obviously he can't grow one.
They didn't really go to a mountain.
They went to the mount.
In.
Expo Hotep, thank you. I have 40 to 90 cousins that I know of. I have become very wary about who I hit on. Yeah, I could see that being a problem. I've told this story before on the show before. I got very worried that me and Lady Monkey were related. Because there's a picture of her mom that looks almost identical to a picture of my aunt on my mom's side. And we actually had to do some digging. And oh, thank God. Yeah. Like that's some scary shit. Joe Dirt. I love Joe Dirt. It's a dumbass movie, but it's one that I love. I like dumbass movies.
I'm 50-50 on them. Joe Dirt was funny. It was much more smartly written than many of them. But I never saw the sequel.
There's a sequel to Joe Dirt?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wow. That's a little bit overkill.
It's called Beautiful Loser. It came out in 2015.
Yeah, Joe Dirt could have ended about an hour before it did. It could have just been a Saturday Night Live sketch.
Yeah.
I tagged you and Jack with a video of your thoughts on Sean Astin. Oh, okay. The sequel blew ass. Pootie Tang is one of my favorite bad movies. I've never seen it. People keep telling me I need to, but I've never seen it.
I've seen parts of it.
There's a new David Spade movie that's on Netflix. called The Wrong. Oh shit, what's it called? Me and Lady Monkey just watched it the other day, and it's a horrifically bad movie that has some really funny parts in it. The Wrong Missy, that's it. Thank you, Dangerous Spaces. The Wrong Missy, and it was horrible, but it's got some really funny moments to it, and as a David Spade vehicle, actually not too bad. If that had been his first movie ever, you might be thinking, oh, he's got somewhere to go. Being that he looks 60 in that movie, how old is David Spade these days?
He's aging pretty bad. He's older than we are, I think.
Yeah, and that's not the swan song you want for your career.
He's 55.
Oh yeah, he looks like he's in his 60s, so I was close. David Spade is amazing, especially with Adam Sandler. Oh,
I think it depends on the movie because he can be funny, but he has to have the right kind of team up.
he plays a good straight man.
Yeah, like him and who's the fat funny guy?
Chris Farley. That's why they work good together.
Yeah, exactly. Because one's the goofball. It was like Abbott and Costello.
Yeah. He plays a decent straight man. And for those of you in the audience who are young, that doesn't mean that he bangs just chicks. That means he's not the funny one, or not purposefully the funny one. We have to explain that now. Straight has different meanings.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking about Frodo and then move on to David Spade being a straight man.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Adam Sandler, and then a little frowny face. I'm not an Adam Sandler fan.
He's had like 2 good movies that were tolerable.
I liked Grown Ups, but that's because he wasn't Adam Sandler in them, where he has to try to play some weird, almost childlike character. I don't care for those. When he's actually a decent actor. In 50 First Dates, he actually did a really good job.
That was just a weird, depressing movie.
That is a horrifically depressing movie. But he did a decent job. He wasn't being, goofy Adam Sandler. He's very much to me like Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey can act. If you let him be Jim Carrey, I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Because the only time that worked was in the original Ace Ventura. Mr. Deeds. I know so many people who like Mr. Deeds. I did not care for that movie.
I didn't either.
I don't think Monkey has ever had a best friend. Dude, if you're sitting around looking lovingly into your best friend's eyes for 5-10 quiet minutes at a time, that's between you and him. That's not how most of us do it. That's it. Most of us, that's actually uncomfortable.
And then you get into a boat with a strange old man and go to the land of the elves. Yeah, it sounds a little gay when you say it out loud.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Lord of the Rings fans in chat today.
Jim Carrey sucks. Changed my mind. I'm not even going to try to change your mind. But when he does straight acting, he's actually a pretty decent actor. He did well in The Truman Show. He did well in The Majestic. If you're directing him and doing it, if you watch something like The Mask, where it's like, oh my God, Jim Carrey to the extreme. Oh, no, thank you. It's like Robin Williams without being funny. Because Robin Williams was another one. Most movies, directors just went, be Robin Williams.
P-Dog mentions Sandler's latest film, Uncut Gems. I've heard things about that's made it sound like it's pretty good. But, yeah, I kind of want to see it just in case it is good. But it's hard to say with Adam Sandler.
I have heard very good things about Uncut Gems, and I keep meaning to watch it. But we've talked about my ability to actually pay attention to movies these days.
Yeah.
And see, it's not Humble Clay, though. You liked reading The Hobbit, so I don't know. I don't know if I can take your opinion on it. What did you think of Mork and Mindy? I don't have a lot of, and that was actually directed to you, but I don't have a lot of memory of that show. Very fleeting memories of it.
If you want to watch Robin Williams in his Coke period, watch Mork and Mindy, because it's not something that I cared about. Like when I was real little, I liked it because I didn't understand there's just some crazy alien guy. But as an adult watching it, it's very dated in my opinion.
Ex Bubba Hotep, thank you over on the Streamlabs, who says the guy that felt something missing from one day with no Satsu. Look, what me and Satsu have is not gay. It is transcendent. It is that doesn't make it sound any less gay.
No, that didn't help your cause at all.
It's homey, is what it is.
He's your heterosexual life partner.
Indeed, me and him. Seriously, Jack, since we started the game streams together, had not gone a single day without actually hearing one another's voice for like a year and a half. And there was one day where we just didn't talk, and it was like last week or so. And it was weird. And as soon as I heard his voice, and like, that's what's been weird about this day, is that I have not talked to Satsu in more than 24 hours. And if that's gay to you guys, that's fine. It's man love. It's guy love. Like Scrubs was gay. No, it wasn't. It's homosexual. Exactly. We're homosexual.
Well, it's sort of like when you're in the trenches during a war, you have a camaraderie and a brotherhood. It's sort of like that.
Yeah, we don't stare longingly into each other's eyes. And if there's an uncomfortable silence, it's like, all right, dude, I'm going to take off. I'll talk to you tomorrow. We don't just sit around with huge spaces because we just need to be together. Hold me, Sam.
Jealous when a third party comes along, Gollum.
And calling him Mr. Frodo, I mean, come on, how much gayer could you be? That's his dom. That's his daddy. Anyway, Brokeback Mountain. No, I can't even watch that movie. Gay cowboys eating pudding, not for me. Ex Bubba Hotep, thank you. Platonic life partners. There you go. It's guy love. Have you guys seen the song from Scrubs? It's guy love. I will not be judged.
Half the audience is probably too young to have seen Scrubs.
That's all right. You can look it up. Look up this song "Guy Love" on the YouTubes. Gamer Vleen, thank you. Let's watch Black Mirror this weekend. What's Black Mirror?
That's a TV show. It's on Netflix.
Oh, is that the anthology thing?
Yeah.
I've watched the first episode of that, the one that's about social credit going horribly wrong. It was an okay episode, and I thought, all right, I see what you guys are doing here. But I've seen, Twilight Zone and Tales from the Crypt and Friday the 13th and,
Tales from the Dark Side, In the Red Room. There's a lot of shows that were like that.
And we have people who don't like. See, I like this. There's a whole lot of people who like and dislike things, and they're not afraid to share their opinion.
Sometimes they're very eager to yell at us when we disagree.
And that's all right. Scrubs had some good, deep episodes. Oh, my God. Some of them will break your fucking heart, man. The way you talk about Pat is pretty homo. There's been people, when I was accused of being a black savior, Jack, one of the things they pointed to is, you talk about being gay with Pat. I make jokes like that with a lot of people. I'm going to let y'all in on the important word there. Jokes. Just throwing that out there. Because the people I'd really cuddle with, I don't talk about out loud. I just confuse some people.
I don't pay extra for cuddling.
That's right. Oh my God. I love that you have to prove that you're heterosexual, Mr. Been married 27 years with 3 kids, and talks ridiculously about we talk too much about how much we like women, Jack.
Yeah,
I'm going to scale that back, and we're going to start having a men we want to hump day. Those will be our days off.
There won't be any.
Gay people get married too. Thanks to the Supreme Court. You're right, Dangerous Spaces. We know you like short people, Monkey. That is true. I do like shorties. That's why I was so happy when shorty became slang for chick. I'm like, that fits so well for me. The shooting has started, isn't it? What? Who's shooting? Please tell me we're talking about Seattle. Yeah. I like to dislike opinions and dislike liking opinions. Then again, my opinion is I like and dislike the opinions of the likes at times. I've noticed that about you, Dom. Have you ever talked about cuddles with Pete? Just saying. Not that I'm aware of. Who did I make a gay joke about the other day? I don't remember. It was some white dude. And I almost sent that to the person that accused me of being a black savior because of, the Pat thing. Like, see, I am gay. Shit. I can't send that. Started shooting in the streets. What? Out there in Seattle?
Won't surprise me.
Me neither, but like I said, make sure you guys get it all on film because I want to see it later. I don't want to miss any of that. Ex-Boba Hotep, thank you. My lunch, the Dr. Cox Meltdown episode can still make me tear up if I watch it. That one, actually, it's not even that one. It's the because that's basically a two-parter. They don't call it a to be continued because that's not how Scrubs worked. The one right before it, the one where the patient dies that puts him in that state. That one, because man, they almost give you that hope. And then everything just goes to shit. And it's like, oh man. Monk, did you see the article wanting to get rid of the Washington Monument and the Jefferson Memorial? No, but I did see people saying that we need to get rid of we need to rename Washington D.C. because he was a slave owner. So I'm not concerned. Yeah, Bubba Hotep. The second one is called My Lunch. My Lunch is the one where all the patients die. What's the second one? Because the second one, that part with JD at the end where he sits down and talks to Dr. Cox, the part that brings him out of feelings. Jack, do you know the story we're talking about?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to ruin this for people who haven't watched Scrubs. And if you're ever going to watch Scrubs, you need to stop listening right now. Because I'm about to ruin an amazing part of the show. There's 3 patients waiting to have transplants. And Dr. Cox is taking care of them. One of them is this guy he's been taking care of for a long time and has developed a friendship with, which if you know Dr. Cox, he doesn't do that. But that's how long this guy's been there. And in another part of the show, this woman who's amazingly annoying, they think she killed herself. And JD's just down about it because he had just seen her and he felt like he should do something different. And Dr. Cox pulls him aside and look like, you can't save everybody. And it pulls him out of it. And then they find out that her organs can be used for all 3 of the transplants that they need. And then it turns out she actually died of rabies. And slowly each of those transplant patients dies, including the one that Dr. Cox was friends with, who didn't actually need the transplant at that time. He could have waited, until they'd found a better, I think it was a liver for him. And so they each die, and Dr. Cox just goes into this horrific depression. And it's fucking amazing. You're mixing up episodes, or I am. That would be you, because unless you're talking about the actual title of it, that's what happens in that episode. Because that was the last episode that I watched with that chick from. It's the last thing I saw the chick from Mad TV in. What was her name? The blonde chick from Mad TV.
Something Sullivan, wasn't it?
Was that it?
Or, I don't remember.
I can't remember, but I thought she was going to be like a star. She's funny as shit. And she wasn't complete. What's that?
Nicole Sullivan. Sorry.
Nicole Sullivan. Yeah, Nicole Sullivan. Yeah, she was great. And that was the last thing I ever saw her in.
Yeah, she just kind of disappeared.
Yeah. Turk yeeted an organ from Dr. Cox. That's a different story. That's a completely different storyline. That's another one where Dr. Cox is friends with the guy, but the guy admitted to drinking champagne at his daughter's wedding. And to be on the transplant list, you have to, because that one I believe was specifically for the liver or kidney or one of those. And it was, he had said he had that drink and you're not allowed to have any alcohol while you're on the list. And so Turk had to, sorry, your friend can't have this. He had to make that call. Different episode. Like I said, there's so many episodes of Scrubs that are like that, where it's a funny show. It's a ridiculously funny show, especially with JD's imagination when you go into those. But yeah, there's some really deep shit to that show. So anyway, wasn't Courtney Cox on the show for a while, or am I just tripping? She was on the beginning of season 8 for, I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 episodes. She played the new chief of medicine on the show. Frank Hubbard, thank you. Thank you. I love all but the final season. I refuse to watch the final season. I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes and I'm like, this is garbage. This isn't Scrubs. I'm not watching it. My son has assured me that the rest of the season got better, but still not good. I'm like, I'm not watching that shit. That's not Scrubs. I'm not killing the memory of that show. They should have stopped. Season 8's finale was amazing. That's how they should have left it. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, we're past the 2-hour mark, and I'm just telling you about one of my favorite TV shows now. So I think we're going to wrap this up. We've had Insurrection and Frodo's Erection and Scrubs on the show tonight. And it's been fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are amazing. Jack, is there anything you want to show?
I'll throw a link to a video in chat. Thank you for the donations. You guys are awesome.
Tonight, we're going to be on Satsu 2 Cents channel at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Lords of the Night. I will game as soon as I can because I really, really want to get back into Fallout 4. Partially because of where I left off. I'm not sure if I can go back to the regular world until I do. And I want to get back to building stuff in my off time. But come hang out on those. That's on Ranting Monkey Games. The link is below-ish, I think. I don't know. But follow us on Twitter. Follow our channels. Links are all down there. Look at it. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend. Everybody, enjoy your Thursday. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Frodo and Sam.